The Malawian High Court Judge Fiona Mwale has ruled that the criminal review proceedings against Prophet Shepherd Bushiri and his wife Mary be discontinued following a request by the state to have the matter withdrawn. The state filed a withdrawal to concentrate on a new extradition procedure already underway. Director of Public Prosecution Stephen Kayuni said the court should withdraw the review application as there was a formal extradition request from South Africa where the two were on bail for fraud, theft, and money laundering charges. Prophet Bushiri's lawyer Wapona Kita told the court that he had no objections against the state's request to withdraw the case. Kita said his client, Prophet Bushiri, was satisfied with the decision of the court. Judge Mwale eventually ruled that the case be discontinued since both parties had agreed.
It's not up to the South African authorities at all to extradite him. You can request the extradition of Reverend Bushiri from Malawi, but it's up to the Malawian authorities to decide whether they're going to surrender Reverend Bushiri to the South African authorities. It's up to the Malawian authorities in terms of Malawian law to decide what to do, not up to the South African authorities at all.
I think it's going to be a lot of long months or even years before the couple are extradited to South Africa. So it's not as simple and straightforward as it looks. There's a whole legal process. There's a whole process that is to play out before they are extradited to South Africa.
The Director of Public Prosecution of Malawi had petitioned the court against the unconditional release of the Bushiris when a magistrate court ordered their release and stated that their arrest in Malawi was illegal. The ruling means that Malawi will now begin the extradition process, which experts say could take up to a year.
I think at least if it's in dispute, I think with from my practical experience, it will at least take a year for everything to be done.
He says,
what is in our favor at the moment is that we have a bilateral and a regional treaty with Malawi. That is why the minister is now responsible for dealing with that. As I said in the beginning, if that is not the case, then the president must get involved to give the green light. And that can sometimes cause even more delay because the relation between the two countries are maybe not so well. They don't have treaties. So that is why you have to go up to the level of the president to give the green light. But in this instance, when I was at the NPA, we've also asked for extradition, to Malawi. And, they've granted it to us. I think I'm not a politician, so I don't know what really happens between closed doors. But as you can see from the statement issued by our Minister of Justice, he said that he's very encouraged. There's a good cooperation between the two countries, and hopefully that will not cause a problem.
The SADC treaty to be brought to a test within the Malawi judicial system, because the mere fact that we signed that treaty does not automatically mean that it is part of the laws of Malawi. According to our constitution, it's supposed to be domesticated under section 211 of the constitution. So perhaps when this matter goes to court, that should be one of the arguments which perhaps the lawyers will have to tussle, whether the SADC protocol, the SADC treaty is part of the laws of Malawi, which can be used for purposes of extradition in this particular case. Beyond that, beyond the SADC treaty, there is an extradition act, which governs all sorts of extraditions in Malawi with regard to countries which have got arrangements when it comes to extradition.
It is recalled that the Minister of Homeland Security, Richard Chimwendo Banda, signed the extradition papers last week.